It's you've had a busy couple of months since we last spoke. So can you tell me what's happened over the last 6 months?
So yeah, we've launched into Sainsbury's and Boots. So it's around 400 Sainsbury's across the country. We're the first toothpaste tablet brand to go into national retailers, national supermarkets. So that's a really big step for us in our sort of mission to get the mass market to make this one small change for the planet. And Boots have supported us as well with a further, I think it's 300 to 350, something like that, stores, which also brings our reach into Ireland as well, which is awesome because we've had lots of interest from Irish customers and we haven't been able to supply them up until now. So that's really exciting as well.
And explain to me how that works, because Pärla works on a subscription basis. Is that right?
So we have subscription-based product and we have a single month jar, which is more akin to sort of the traditional toothpaste in that you buy it every month. Obviously, the difference of it in comparison to the traditional model is that once you're finished with the tablets, the jar and the aluminium lid don't need to be washed out of any paste, and they can be thrown straight into recycling and infinitely recycled. Whereas obviously most toothpaste tubes are single-use plastic that lasts for 500 years, non-recyclable. Every tube of toothpaste you've ever used still exists somewhere on the planet. But even the recyclable options, such as aluminium or the newer sort of PLA recyclable plastic options, can only the plastic ones can only be recycled a few times before they end up in landfill. So you're just delaying the problem. And the aluminium ones, you still need to cut them open, fully wash out the insides, and then hope that they get through the recycling centers because they still look like toothpaste tubes. And so they're not bothered, they just filter them as appropriate. So that's the problem with the recyclable options. You've still got this washout model. We are working on bringing our refills in a 1 month form into national retail as well. And so we hope to continue our refillability on the supermarket shelves, as well as through our direct consumer model online. So that is a work in progress, but as with everything, they've got a narrow shelf space for you. I've been blown away by the psychology that goes on the shelf. It's mad, but learning every day. And yeah, we're working with Sainsbury's, who have been amazing. I mean, we're one of their future brands. So we're in this sort of incubator program where they're supporting us and helping with our growth and helping with PR and that sort of stuff. So it's really, we're so grateful to them for their support. But we are still limited with shelf space. We're just working with them to try and build out more of that refillable solution, because that is our gold standard. We really want complete zero waste. Yes, infinitely recyclable is great, but we would rather the jar was just reused and a compostable plant-based bag made of cornstarch that can just go into the compost is what we will refill with.
Of course. So over the last month really, I've noticed on your social media that you've got new board members. So who are they?
One new hire, yeah.
So who are they, and why did you decide to take them on board?
So we have hired a new managing director. And the managing director is the ex-head of brand for Oral-B and Fixodent UK. His name's Adam Parker. I actually worked with him on the Oral-B Channel 4 TV advert I did back in 2018. And we've maintained a relationship on LinkedIn since then. And we were looking for an MD primarily because we've been experiencing rapid growth. Rona, myself, and Adarsh are still part-time practicing dentists, and we love what we do, and we think it's really important that we carry on being clinical wet-fingered dentists. But we needed someone there full-time who has a real detailed grasp of exactly what it takes to be the top-selling toothpaste in the country. And Oral-B is the top-selling toothpaste in the country. It was last year, and Adam spearheaded that with his incredible knowledge of the sector. So that was the reason for bringing in the MD, was to have someone there who's done it before. In essence, he's been at Oral-B for 10 years. He understands the inner workings of the toothpaste market. He understands marketing. He understands customer psychology, ingredients, just everything, consumer goods at retail, online sales, Amazon. I mean, the list goes on and on as to the deficits of my knowledge base, as much as I'm trying to learn on the job. But what that means is having Adam there means that myself, Rona, and Adarsh can focus on our individual skill sets within the brand and help to grow it in those sectors and put more effort into that, so that the nuts and bolts of the business can be running more effectively. I mean, we launched this brand at the start of COVID. Running a business during COVID, I haven't done it outside of it in the startup world, but it's probably, I would guess, 10 times harder, because supply chain and staffing at the manufacturers and ingredients running out of stock, and retailers saying you're going to go in, but then something happens with COVID and so they change their mind. It just makes the whole process much more difficult. But yeah, we're really, really excited. Adam's been in for a month now, and he's already made some really powerful changes, and we think the next 12 months for us is going to be huge, and we're really excited to have him on board, and we're growing the team out from there. I really want our team to grow rapidly now as the business grows as well, so we can keep up with demand.
Well, you mentioned there that you probably launched in really one of the toughest periods to launch. So reflecting back on the last 12 months, how do you feel this year has gone for Pärla?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, if you told me, I mean, we launched March 2020. So if you told me in March 2020 that we'd be sitting on the shelves of, well, about 700 stores across the UK and have thousands and thousands of subscribers, I would be absolutely thrilled. So we've grown by about 10x in the last 12 months versus the first year. And we continue to grow rapidly. So I'm really, really excited about it. As I said, I can't wait to see the next year and what that has in store. We've got some super exciting announcements coming in the next, certainly the next couple of months. I'm going to be careful what I say, but yeah, some really exciting new products, some really exciting new retailers. Yeah, it's all looking good. But no, it's been, honestly, I know it's a cliche, but it has been the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've had some really dark moments with it. It is very, very difficult to run a startup alongside an active calendar elsewhere, shall I say, with all the other things that I'm running. But the rewards and the passion that I have for it, as most people can see, I'm wearing this hat pretty much 24/7. But I do genuinely love the brand. I love what we're all about. I love the mission. I feel like I'm genuinely making an impact on the climate crisis, which I do really have a lot of anxiety around, to be honest. And I think that as a profession, we can't just accept the way we've always done stuff. And we need to be working harder to make sure that our practices are running in the most planet-friendly, sustainable way that we can do. And part of that is recommending sustainable products for our patients to be using, because they trust us.
Perfect. Simon, that's all I've got to add. Is there anything that you just wanted to add? Or are there any teasers you can give us for the next year?
I probably already said too much, but as I say, I'm going to be doing quite a few lectures next year, hopefully COVID dependent, in person, talking about sustainability in dentistry, talking about what you can do in your own practice to improve or to minimize the impact that you're having on the environment. Yeah, all I say is just we would love as many dental practices across the country to stock Pärla Original and Pro, and have them in your practice, recommend it to your patients, help support the cause, and yeah,